Stress is not a sickness. It's not a sickness, but when it's not controlled, it can lead to a sickness. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching me from. Speaking with you today is Esther Effiong, and I'm excited to welcome you into this mental health edition today. And if you're just seeing me for the first time, you're highly welcome. Today we are on the mental health talk show, and we are talking today on the topic that says stress management. You may be wondering today, what is stress? Talk more of managing it. Stress can be defined as any strain that affects your physical, your mental, and your social well-being. Now, stress affects you even to your system. It affects your intestine, your stomach, and your digestive system. So whenever you're stressed, it don't just start and end with you saying, I'm stressed up. It also affects your body system. Now you may be asking, how come the stress? We have causes of stress, we have effects of stress, and we also have way out and how to manage this stress. Now I'm going to explain to you the different causes of stress. Stress can be caused by so many elements, but we are going to pick some few to discuss today. I'm going to talk about discrimination. Discrimination can affect the life of someone and cause the person to be stressed. Take for example, someone is of a different skin color. Maybe you are fair and this person is black, and the person is working in the same place with you. You start discriminating the fact that you're looking more attractive than the person. You just discriminating the person doesn't just start and end with you alone. It affects the person's mental being. Discrimination in terms of language barrier. You're speaking a language that this person can't speak, or you're using your language to say evil against this person. In other words, you're passing a message to the person that affects the mental being of that person. So discrimination and abuse. Abuse, it may be sexually, it may be at any point. Maybe the person had a stigma and you're using that as a yardstick. That can cause stress to that person. Now this will lead us to the second point of causes of stress. Stress can also be caused when someone feels overwhelmed over some situations. So you're now given a task, or you're placed on a pressure, there is something pressurizing you, either in your office, in the school, in the market, anywhere you are. Your friends are getting married, and every Saturday you're receiving invites. That can be a stress to you. It can cause stress. So you feel overwhelmed, and it passes a message to your brain, and automatically you start feeling stressed. Another thing again that can cause stress to us as a person is when we have changes in life. Okay, let's take for example a young lady just graduated from school and she's now serving. After serving, she got married. After getting married, she's now pregnant, and she's now becoming a mother. At that point, she's transiting from a young lady to a married woman to a mother can cause a lot of stress. That is when you see new mothers either crying, either being over-worried. So these are what causes stress. Take note of this. Stress is not a sickness. It's not a sickness, but when it's not controlled, it can lead to a sickness. I repeat, stress is not a sickness. It is normal for us to undergo stress, because stress is what will send a message to your brain for you to know that yes, you are either doing what is right or what is not right. But when it's not properly managed, it can cause a lot of sicknesses. So causes of stress also include anxiety in somebody. So you're a student and you're already undergoing a lot of stress. You begin to be anxious. Proper exams period, you're feeling so anxious of everything. You don't even know what to do next. Stress also causes mood swing. So this same person is happy in 5 minutes, in the next 3 minutes, the next 4 minutes, the person changes. So there's a change in the person's mood. Why? Because there is this level of stress, like the stress level is becoming higher. So stress also causes mood swing. Take a practical example of the effects of stress to the body. Stress affects the body. Now this is an empty glass, and we are going to put in water into this glass to see the effect of stress. Okay, this is a hard glass of water, and I'm holding it with my hands. This glass of water is not heavy for me, but the more I keep holding it, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, it begins to ache my shoulder. And if I should keep holding on to this glass for the whole day, the whole night, then I'll have problem on my shoulder because my arms is still on the same proportion. Remember, the glass of water is not increasing in weight, it's only remaining at the same point. Now, this is what stress does to our body. When we keep holding on to little stress, things that looks minor, things that looks little worries, little anxiety, little stigma, and everything like that, it increases and it begins to affect our body. Now, this is going to lead us directly to effects of stress to the body. Stress affects our productivity. When I mean productivity, our input. Let's take, for example, you're in an office and you're feeling stigmatized, you're feeling abused, people are talking against you, your name is just spaced around everywhere. At that point, you can't give out your best, you can't give your input, you can't do your job well. You that you're abusing somebody, you that you're talking against somebody, you're doing the person more harm than good when you keep saying those things against the person, because it will affect the person's productivity. The person won't be able to do his job well, either in the family, either in the business place, in the market. So this is the effect of stress to the body. Number 2 effect of stress to the body is low self-esteem. There is nobody that keep hearing his or her name on the negative that will still be walking headlong and happy. So when someone is undergoing a lot of stress, it affects esteem and it makes the person to have low self-esteem, whereby the person can stand up and be confident in his or herself. So this is the effect of stress to the body. Number 3 effect of stress to the body is when the person now develops a panic attack. Stress intense in the body causes panic attack. So you're not even feeling your own self again. Every little thing you panic. Maybe in the night you can't sleep at night. You just start hearing sound because you're already undergoing a lot of stress. You begin to panic. Stress can be managed with the following points. There are a lot of it, but I'm going to pick out some points to discuss today. How do you manage stress? Number 1, meditation. Meditation is a very important tools or tips on how to manage stress. How do you meditate? Meditation is when you're silent, you're not talking to somebody's not talking to you, you're not responding physically to anything, to the environment. So you are like, let's say for example, meditating, you can start from 5 a.m. when your environment is quiet. You sit, you close your eyes, you think on something. That is why it's very, very important you have a positive thing in your mind to captivate on. You're not just thinking on that thing in your mind, but you align the calmness of the environment of your body to take place. You're not talking, somebody's not talking to you, you're not listening to music, and nothing is distracting you. You're just calm, like 5 minutes, you're silent. It helps bring calmness to you. It does a whole lot to your body. You meditate, and that is why even in the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 8, the Bible talks about thinking. Whatsoever thing is true, honest, good reports, think of these things. When you have a scripture in your mind and you begin to reflect on those scriptures, the word of God in your mind, at that point you're refreshing yourself. So meditating is a very good tool in managing stress. This will lead me to the second point, which is deep breathing. Deep breathing, like when you deep breathe, it helps your body, your muscle, your veins to be relaxed. So you're busy all day, you're working all day. Take a little time to deep breathe. That's why we have break. Maybe in school they call it break time. In your office you call it break time. You have a break so that you can catch up some breath. You just deep breathe, like you deep breathe and you release. You try like 3 times, 4 times. You discover that it will cause calmness in your body. The next point in managing stress is exercise. Wow, exercise is very, very important. It's really important. It helps the muscle, it helps the body from your head to your toes. So you pick out time, either twice a week, you exercise regularly. In exercising, you do this to help take out the toxic things in your body. That's when you start sweating. By the time you start sweating, you're like releasing those toxins in your body. This will also lead me to another point here, your diet. Do you know the food you eat also contributes to the stress you see yourself into? So when you don't eat healthy food, you're always eating this junk food, you're eating food that are not balanced, either you're taking food that are just one-sided, either carbohydrate highly or protein highly. If you don't balance your food, it affects contributing to stress in the body. So it's very important you balance your diet. Take enough water, take enough water. In the morning, you wake up, drink at least a glass of water early in the morning as you wake up. Before you go to bed at night, you try drinking at least a glass of water. Interval in the day, you drink enough water as possible. When you do this, it helps regulate your blood, it helps regulate your system. So your diet is really, really important. Your diet is really important in managing stress. I've talked about exercise, I've talked about deep breathing, I've talked about meditation, I've talked about your diet. These are the ways you can manage stress. I don't know if you have any question, please, I would like you to drop in the comment section. And if you not liked, if not subscribed, if not shared, what are you waiting for? I'll be waiting for those things. Please help share, like, comment for other people to see this. Stress is really, really important. We manage it. It's good for the body, but when it exceeds its limits, it's very bad. So even as I've brought up this topic to you today, what is your stress level? Thank you very much for watching. I'm Esther.